Welcome back to Landlord Pass and 3 p.m. BC. I'm Amanda. By this point, you've signed a solid tenancy agreement. The next step is deposits. This is where a lot of BC landlords lose money, just because they don't follow the rules closely. Remember, a deposit is the tenant's money. You're just holding it. If you treat it like your money and you don't follow the 15-day rules, the RTB can order you to pay double the deposit back. In this module, I'll walk through 5 things: the 50% limits, RTB 27 inspections, the 15-day deadline, interest, and how to prove damage using useful life rules. Deposits are one of the most common reasons landlords end up at the RTB. Typical mistakes look like this: collecting more than 50% of 1 month's rent as a deposit, skipping RTB 27 inspections so there's no proof of condition, missing the 15-day deadline to return or claim the deposit, deducting money without clear written consent, forgetting to add interest when you return the money. If you miss the 15-day deadline, tenants can apply for double the deposit, and the RTB often agrees, even if there was damage. Jimmy puts it simply: if you're going to hold tenant money, treat it like it's held in trust, because legally, that's what it is. Let's go over the basic numbers. Security deposit. Maximum is 50% of 1 month's rent. If rent is $2,400, the maximum security deposit is $1,200. Not $1,300, not a setup fee on top. $1,200. There is 1 security deposit per tenancy, not 1 per roommate. The amount is fixed at move-in. Even if rent goes up later, the deposit does not increase. It's there for rent, damage, and breaches, not as a general holding fee. Pet damage deposit. Also, a maximum of 50% of 1 month's rent. You can collect it on top of the security deposit. So with $2,400 rent, security deposit up to $1,200, pet deposit up to $1,200, combined up to 1 full month's rent in total. One key point: certified guide and service dogs are not pets. You cannot charge a pet deposit for them. Landlords often ask, "Can I take a deposit for keys or fobs?" You cannot take a deposit for the tenant's main key or fob, the one they need to access the unit. You can take a refundable deposit for extra keys or fobs the tenant requests. That deposit should not be more than the actual replacement cost. When the extra key or fob is returned, refund that deposit right away. Your ability to use the deposit for damage depends heavily on condition inspections using the RTB 27 form. The RTB expects you to show what the unit looked like at move-in, what it looked like at move-out, what changed, and proof, usually photos and receipts. If you don't offer or complete proper inspections, you can lose the right to claim against the deposit, even if there is real damage. Here's how to run it. Move-in inspection. Do this on possession day or just before move-in. Walk through with the tenant if possible. Both of you sign the RTB 27. Take clear, date-stamped photos of each room. Move-out inspection. Do this on move-out day when the unit is empty. Use the same RTB 27 form and compare it to move-in. Note changes. Both sign again, or record that the tenant refused or didn't show. Photos. Take a wide shot of each room, plus close-ups of any marks or issues. At move-out, repeat those angles so the before and after is obvious. Storage. Keep the RTB 27 forms and photos together in your tenancy file. A digital backup is best. Without this, any dispute becomes your word versus the tenant's. That's not where you want to be. Now, the most important timing rule. The 15-day clock starts on the later of the day the tenancy ends, or the day you receive the tenant's forwarding address in writing. So if the tenancy ends June 30th, but you get the forwarding address July 5th, your 15 days start on July 5th. Within those 15 days, you must do one of 3 things. Return the full deposit plus interest. Easiest option: use the RTB interest calculator, then send the money back. Get written consent to deduct and return the balance. If there's damage or unpaid rent, ask the tenant to sign to allow a specific deduction. The safest place to record this is on the RTB 27 form. Then you return the rest plus interest. Apply for dispute resolution. If you want to keep some or all of the deposit and the tenant doesn't agree, file an RTB dispute within the 15 days. That keeps your claim alive. What you do not do. Don't just sit on the money and hope the issue goes away. Don't rely on a vague text like "okay" as proof of consent. The RTB expects clear written consent for a specific amount and reason. Don't assume you have 30 days. You don't. If you do nothing and 15 days pass, the tenant can apply for double the deposit. The RTB often grants it because you missed a clear deadline. Deposits in BC earn interest. You have to calculate it before you return money or claim against it. For 2025, the deposit interest rate is 0.95%. The easiest way is to use the RTB's online deposit interest calculator. You plug in the deposit amount, the date you received it, the date you return it, or use it in a claim. The tool gives you the exact interest amount. Simple example, security deposit, $1,200, held for 1 full year. At 0.95%, the interest is about $11.40. It's not a lot, but if you don't pay it and the tenant complains, you're now in a dispute over something you could have avoided. A simple habit: write down the exact date you received the deposit and the exact date you returned it. That makes interest calculations straightforward. Another common mistake is trying to charge the full cost of a new item when the old one was already partway through its life. The RTB uses useful life rules from Policy Guideline 40. The idea is, items wear out over time, even with a perfect tenant. You can only claim the portion that was lost early because of damage. Example with carpet. Carpet useful life, 7 years. Tenant damages it at year 3. There are 4 years of life left. You can claim 4/7 of the replacement cost, not the full amount. Same idea with paint. Paint useful life, 5 years. Damage at year 2, 3 years left. You can claim 3/5 of the repainting cost. Appliance lifespans vary. Fridges, dishwashers, stoves all have typical useful life ranges. To back up a claim, you need move-in photos from RTB 27 showing the item in good condition, move-out photos showing the damage, receipts or quotes for repair or replacement, a note referring to Policy Guideline 40 for the math. Without that, you're just giving the RTB a number. With it, you're giving them evidence. Here are a few situations that catch landlords off guard. Can I charge a deposit for carpet cleaning? No. Regular carpet cleaning is part of normal maintenance. You can't treat that as damage. Can I keep the deposit if they owe back rent? You can, but only with written consent from the tenant or an RTB order. Record it clearly, ideally on RTB 27, and file a dispute within 15 days if they don't agree. What if they never give me a forwarding address? You still have to act. Send the deposit to their last known address. If it comes back, keep the envelope as proof you tried, or file with the RTB if you're claiming against it. Can I just ask them to forfeit the deposit? That's risky. The deposit is their money. Asking them to give it up can look like pressure or coercion. How do I handle roommates and joint deposits? The deposit belongs to the tenancy, not each person. When the tenancy ends, you deal with the single joint deposit. How they split it between themselves is their issue. You just return it to the one address they give you. In this module, you've seen how to collect deposits legally using the 50% rules, use RTB 27 inspections and photos to prove condition, hit the 15-day deadline so you don't face double deposit claims, calculate interest properly, use useful life rules to make fair, defensible deductions. Handled well, deposits become a clean, low-risk part of your system instead of a constant source of stress. In Module 9, we'll move from deposits to rental insurance, how your landlord policy, the tenant's policy, and the strata policy actually fit together, and where the dangerous gaps are. When you're ready, join me in Module 9, Rental Insurance for BC Landlords.